Next on Worcester News Tonight, a group of advocates say the Worcester homeless population is a growing concern and the city needs to step up their efforts. Plus, an investigation is underway after 2 people are found dead in a Northborough home. The latest on what police say happened. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. A group of homeless advocates shared their concerns with the Worcester City Council Tuesday night. The group says local shelters are falling apart, which is putting added pressure on other organizations offering services. They say it's time for the city to step in and help the homeless community. Our Cam Jandro is live in Worcester tonight with the story. Cam?
Anna, that group met right here at Worcester City Hall yesterday before the City Council meeting. They say some of these shelters in the city of Worcester are unsafe, unsanitary, and at times they can even be violent.
This has actually where they've been living, where they sleep, where they store stuff.
Wahia Wolfpaw points out where homeless people in the city take shelter at Stone Soup, Worcester. She says the city is facing chronic homelessness issues, especially for people just getting out of prison.
We got to work on young men that have nothing. These are our fathers, future fathers, a lot of them.
Wolfpaw and local group Epica, ex-prisoners and prisoners organizing for community advancement, are based in Stone Soup's King Street building. They say local shelters like the Queen Street location are falling apart and overcrowded. And while the city begins to build a new ballpark, Epica is worried about the people living on the streets.
We have unmet needs of people who lived here, people who live here. People have family here. This is the fabric of our community. Gentrification is just tearing apart the fabric of our community. And
Epica says 26 people died in 2018 as a result of being unsheltered. The group took their concerns to City Council Tuesday night, where City Manager Ed Augustus spoke on the issue.
There is a homelessness issue in Worcester, as there is in any large urban area in the country. That certainly is true and undeniable. However, the city of Worcester has been very aggressive on multiple fronts.
Augustus pointed to Hotel Grace as well as the renovations of Abby's house as examples of how the city is attacking homelessness. But members of Epica say they need more places for the homeless to stay throughout the city.
We don't know where to send them. A lot of time, we send them out of town because there's no really help here for them.
there's a lot of injustices, and they all seem to be around criminalization of poverty.
Now, City Manager Ed Augustus has recently created a task force specifically on curbing the issue of homelessness here in the city of Worcester. In terms of the Queen Street shelter location, city councilors at last night's meeting say it's crucial to find out why that location is such a problem. Live in Worcester tonight, I'm Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
A ray of hope appears for the group looking to save the former Our Lady of Mount Carmel. Wednesday, the city's Commissioner of Inspectional Services extended the demolition permit for the church by another 6 months. The building's previous permit was set to run out at the end of this month, which had members of the Mount Carmel Preservation Society worried the wrecking ball was around the corner. This week, the group filed a civil suit as a last-ditch effort to save the Mulberry Street building. The extension was requested by F&D Truck Company. This permit was put in place until October 27th of this year. Well, developing news out of Northborough tonight. Police have now identified a couple killed in an apparent murder-suicide. Investigators were on scene throughout the day Wednesday. Our Rosalind Flaherty has more on the investigation.
Police on scene at this home in Northborough Wednesday, where officers found a husband and wife dead. Investigators are calling it a murder-suicide.
You hate to see that happen to any family. Any couple.
The Worcester County District Attorney's Office says police responded to a 911 call at the home on Pondview Way around 10 o'clock Tuesday night. They found 57-year-old Thomas Blasco dead inside the home. 57-year-old Deborah Blasco was pronounced dead at the hospital.
Kind of surprised to hear about it.
Police say a domestic dispute led to Thomas shooting Deborah, then turning the gun on himself. Neighbors say they seemed like a nice couple.
He took care of his yard. He was always cutting down trees, blowing leaves away in the winter, right? And had the kids around, always playing ball with them.
Just like an ordinary couple.
Neighbors also say there was a daycare business at the home.
Cars come in the morning, drop off kids. Cars go home in the evening, pick up kids.
Andrea Kazmerzak says she's been to the home to look at the daycare for her children.
We went to the house, we
talked to them. They were looking to expand the daycare.
Wednesday morning, police were taking dogs out of the home. Neighbors say it's a quiet street and say they can't believe it happened here.
It's not that kind of neighborhood. It was shocked to see him out there this morning and then to hear what happened. Holy cow.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
A new nonprofit in the city will be dedicated to supporting the needs of the city's Mounted Police Unit. The Friends on the Mounted Police Unit is a group of community volunteers who will be raising awareness and funds in an effort to ensure the unit remains active and effective. Worcester brought back the Mounted Patrol Unit in 2017 as a way to interact with members of the community, as well as enhancing an officer's view of the streets. Wednesday, the group was formally announced at the Horses Stable at the Worcester County House of Corrections.
Family walk up to a police car and have kids go up and shake the officer's hand. But when they're on horseback, that bridge is gapped. And I think it's really important as we go forward.
Over the past 2 years, as this specialized unit has been reintroduced to our community, they have connected with residents, business owners, and visitors.
The Mounted Police Unit currently has 7 officers, a lieutenant, and 4 horses. The Friends of MPU will help raise money to cover additional costs not covered in the city's budget. Educating others on the ingredients to avoid when using everyday products like cleaning supplies is Verushka Mazzola's mission. She's used this mission to help educate a central Massachusetts school system. Mazzola is an ambassador for Pure Haven, who sells toxic-free products. She says she's researched the ingredients in store-bought cleaning products, including disinfecting wipes, and found they are harmful. With these findings, she presented the information to the Uxbridge School's Wellness Committee and PTO and says she was able to get the toxic cleaners out of the school system by suggesting safer alternatives.
What's happening is that when they're putting those toxic chemicals on the desks or the countertops, children then eat their snacks and ingest not just the snack, but the toxic chemicals as well. It's all about education. So I wanted it to really incorporate things like making your own cleaners, but also incorporating vinegar and essential oils, things that are actually doing what they say they're going to do. Mazzola says when choosing a product, make sure to check the label. She says if you cannot pronounce the ingredients or if it says search the website for more ingredients, you probably want to steer clear of the product. As a way to get more people to call in, Leominster is offering a free cup of coffee to anyone who reports a pothole. In Worcester, city leaders say while it's a great idea, it may not be feasible here, but they are working to give riders a smooth ride. Our Chandler Walsh explains.
It's a problem cities work to fix this time of year. Leominster even offering free coffee for people who report a pothole.
We thought it would be a great idea because I commute here every day and we hit quite a few potholes.
Aroma Joe's gave Leominster's mayor 100 vouchers for a caffeine buzz at no cost. The city is hoping it's an incentive for people to pick up the phone.
By the time I get home, I probably forgot about it.
Ron St. Laurent has never called a pothole in. He says now he's thinking about it.
Did hit that big one in Searstown, and it was deep. You know, it was outrageous.
In Worcester, DPW Commissioner Paul Moosey says they get hundreds of calls, but like Leominster, encourage more.
Actually, this particular year we found we've gotten a little less. That doesn't mean there's less potholes, but I think less people are taking the time to either call or email us.
Moosey says the DPW works to fill potholes within 48 hours of being reported. If they're not fixed by then, the city has to pay claims on any tire damage. Moosey says maintaining the roads isn't just a job for the DPW, it's one for the community.
So we don't go out and drive the 500 miles of streets every day. Obviously on the main arteries we see things, but particularly on some of the side streets, unless we happen to go down them, we won't know that it's there.
Don't just curse it or think somebody else is going to report it.
City Manager Ed Augustus says he's not sure coffee would work in Worcester, but they'll reward callers either way.
And don't spill your coffee when you're hitting that pothole on your way to work. So we won't necessarily give you a coffee, but we'll try to give you a smoother ride.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Massachusetts is a leader when it comes to advancing goals in health reform and building the infrastructure needed for digital health innovation. Today, Governor Charlie Baker visited WPI to highlight advancements the state is making in the digital health ecosystem. Our Brittany Schaefer explains.
Your hands are going there. Worcester Polytechnic Institute is selected as the state's first digital health sandbox. Governor Charlie Baker says the program offers $500,000 for advances in healthcare technology.
It's going to be about engineering engineering and data science, and those are two areas where WPI is, a national leader.
Wednesday, Baker was given a tour of WPI's Practice Point facility. Students showed the governor ways they could improve healthcare through robots.
They have a whole lab upstairs where they're literally going to be focusing on how to think about bringing some of that technology directly to the bedside. And I think that's incredibly exciting because it reduces errors and improves performance.
Students are currently working on a neurosurgery robot which could change how doctors remove brain tumors.
This needs to work inside an MRI scanner, and there's a lot of engineering and development needs to go into this. It can enable potentially new types of research that really just couldn't have been done before. I really think this whole trend in personalized healthcare, and really, see where we can go to advance the state of the art.
WPI President Dr. Lori Leshin says being the first Sandbox program shows Worcester is a leader in digital health.
There's so much innovation happening right here in the heart of the Commonwealth, right here in Worcester, and it's fantastic to see the state recognizing that with some investment and driving some small companies here to see what we have to offer right here in Worcester.
We should be able to become a market leader and certainly a national leader.
And healthcare startups can test their technology at WPI's clinical facilities starting this summer. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
The City of Worcester and the Worcester Cultural Coalition have partnered together to create the new Worcester Window exhibit, Vivi Mas. This season, the Worcester's Window program is highlighting Latin American culture and its influence on the city. According to the United States Census Bureau, 21% of Worcester's population is Hispanic or of Latino origin. The exhibit celebrates the culture and tenacity of spirit of Latin American peoples. The art is on display in the basement level of City Hall, Brew on the Grid, and the Hanover Theater.